Mike, always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
What was your takeaway last night?
Look, I think we learned 3 key facts last night that are important, that are going to shape the future. One, we learned that John Kasich is a winner, and Donald Trump likes winners. So if we're thinking about the next version of the Celebrity Apprentice, who's going to be the VP, I think John Kasich is showing well.
That's what I said, too.
And that's going to be strong.
So.
And he never criticizes him.
He never criticizes. He won his home state. Trump likes winners. Kasich is a winner.
And he's got heart, and he's sensitive, and he's got a different tone.
And he can help.
Yeah, but Trump doesn't need moderates. That's what John Kasich would bring as moderates. Trump doesn't need them.
I think he humanizes him, and I think he humanizes him away, and he makes him approachable. And I liked.
Maybe he needs an adult in the room too.
I like Kasich to aw shucks. He did an aw shucks last night. Like, I won. Can you believe I won my home state? Look at these beautiful kids. I tried to slip into a restaurant. But there's a second thing we learned yesterday that's absolutely critical going forward, is that 2016 will be the first social media election. And that is absolutely critical because negative TV ads don't work. And how pathetic was Mike Murphy last night trying to explain all the money he spent with the Jeb Super PAC, the $40 million spent against Trump in Florida, it didn't work. So maybe negative TV ads are not going to be part of it.
It did work, Michael. It made his poll numbers go up. Very effectively. Yeah.
Hold on, Doug Heye, jump in here because I know you aren't the Trump guy going into Super Tuesday 2.0. How you feeling today post the wins we saw?
Well, let me first say, Maria, I didn't take the metro here. I walked here. Nothing was going to stop me from coming to see you. Shut down or no shutdown.
Thank you.
But let's not write the John Kasich as VP pick just yet. Last night was a big night for the Kasich campaign. Their campaign is saying that it's a whole new ball game. Trent Duffy, who's a real all-star with the Kasich campaign, I know is going to be with you later. He had a big win last night. John Kasich now is a winner, and it really reframes the race a little bit. Certainly a big night for Donald Trump, but we know now that it is really hard for anybody to get to the delegate level that they need going into the convention, which means we could have an open convention going in. This thing's wide open.
We got to talk about this.
Well, I think, look, this is the same old Republican establishment line that you and I have been dealing with since August. We've gone through incident after incident how they're going to take Trump down, that the media and political elite want Donald Trump to go away. And I respect what Doug is saying, but quite honestly, I think he's wrong. This is going to be a Trump-Clinton showdown. It is going to be the ultimate reality TV show. And you know what's happening? America is engaged in this election. Let's not underestimate that they are not bored by this politics.
Look at the voter turnout.
Yeah, I think this is good for our country.
I agree with you, Mike.
GOP voter turnout in Ohio was 2-1 over the Democrats. And David Clough on Fox News last night said the following, that a 3 to 4 point win nationally turns into a dead heat if you can't get the turnout numbers. And he was talking about the Democrats. And I thought that David Clough is saying that.
He was part of the Obama administration.
You said this was the age of social media. This would be the first social media election. Is this the end of the telepromptering? In other words, she's going like this. And
well, I think that.
Is that over?
Well, I think that
we've had 8 years of that, and now we're going to have her doing that too. I'm just asking.
I have nothing to say without the teleprompter.
I think
she doesn't do that. In case you guys haven't noticed.
Let's look at the social. Let's look at the social media analytics. Let's look at the Hawkwalker dashboard and really look what's going on. Donald Trump, by the volume of conversation, has a 3-1 lead. He's getting 77% in the last month. He's getting 77% of the conversation versus 23%. Hillary is going to have to up her game and start to make a case of why she wants to be president. And if I'm advising the Hillary campaign, I'm saying stop responding to why you're not Trump or why Trump is bad or why Sanders won't work.
Yeah, so this is the conversation volume.
Well, also, Trump has increased followers on Twitter by 1 million almost every 6 to 8 weeks.
Doug, I'm having an establishment anonymous meeting in the basement here today at 4 o'clock. If you want to come join me and other fellow establishmentarians.
Doug,
look,
yeah, go ahead. I got to ask you, Doug.
I would tell you.
You said we could have a contested convention. We were talking about that during the commercial break. Okay, so you need 1237 delegates. If Donald Trump, let's say hypothetically, has 1,100. before the July convention. You think that the GOP can say, oh, you don't have the 1237, so we're going to go to a contested convention. I mean, I think there's going to be such backlash, Anthony, so do you. I mean, wouldn't that look like they're stealing the election from Donald Trump?
Tsunami.
Yeah, I think we can agree that there are no great options here. If Donald Trump's within 100 or so delegates, it's going to be very difficult to deny him that.
Right.
But the conversation that the Republicans and Democrats are having right now are pretty similar. It's all about the delegates. And if Donald Trump can't get to that number or really close to that number, that opens up the door for John Kasich. That opens up the door for Ted Cruz.
What number is
Same
that,
thing that Hillary's campaign is saying.
What's
It's
the
all about
threshold number?
delegates.
Is it 1,000? Is it 900?
That's a good question.
What's the number?
Well, I don't think we know right now.
Okay. But what number do you think puts him in play? 1190 probably doesn't, but does 1,000 delegates put him in play?
I think it's an open question right now, but one of the things that we've seen, and I know, Maria, you alluded to this earlier, is that a lot of Republicans are saying that if it is a Trump and Hillary matchup, that they're not going to be voting for Trump. More than 40% of Republican primary voters last night in Missouri, in Illinois, and Ohio said so. In my home state of North Carolina, almost 40% said that. That's not a good sign for the Republicans if Donald Trump's our nominee.
Yeah,
Right.
they said
That's what I meant.
They would seriously consider voting for a third-party candidate in November.
And then you hand it to Hillary.
Right. I just want to add something. No third-party candidate has gotten an electoral college vote, not one, since George Wallace. Not even.
Guys,
Not even Ronald
you're in the old. You're in the old
Let's
school.
get our heads out of the sand.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the old school. This is a social media election. Trump is 77-23. When I look at the sentiment of the conversation, they talk about how Hillary's unfavorables are less than Trump's unfavorables. The sentiment for Hillary and Trump are exactly the same. I'm telling you now, this is an old school discussion. If we go into a brokered convention, social media is going to go crazy. That's where the pressure is going to come. The Talkwalker dashboard that we've been watching for the past 8 months is going to reveal what happens. This is a brand new ballgame.
I'm going to make him a T-shirt
Look,
that
Kasich
says
is not a factor. Let's just keep that in mind. Kasich has less delegates than Marco Rubio, who's now out of the race.
That's true.
He is not a factor. He won't be a factor. That's just silly.
But let's make teleprompters great again. Okay, that's what I want. Hillary's slogan.
I'm going to make you a T-shirt that says, I told you so. And you can wear it every time because he has been right from day one on this whole thing.
This is, and what I saw last night is I was looking throughout each and every one of these states. The social media analytics work because after people vote, what do? They put on social media, I just voted for Trump. I just voted for Kasich. And that's how I knew what was going on. I can see hour by hour what's going on. The other thing I think, Maria, that we learned, I know I've got to go quickly, is that we saw that the whole protesters, disruptors, once the truth came out on Friday, that was very negative for Trump. By Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
It was Bernie's boys.
Yeah, by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, that was working to Trump's advantage.
Yeah, because he said it was Bernie's boys. Get Bernie's boys out of here.
Partly because all three other candidates in the GOP spoke against Trump on that.
Yes, exactly.
All right, we'll leave it there. Gentlemen, great conversation. Thank you so much. Mike Berland, Doug Heye, good to see you. Gentlemen, we appreciate it. We'll see you soon.